Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. We're really excited to be exploring the real-world impacts of AI today. Beyond all the headlines and the hype, so much of what we hear about AI is all doom and gloom. But that's not what we're focusing on today.
Absolutely. We're here to look at the ways AI is already making our world a better place. And, there's so much potential for positive change, and that's what we want to dive into.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one thing that really stood out to me in the research was this idea of AI pushing us towards becoming a Type 1 civilization, which honestly sounded a little sci-fi at first, but the more I read about it, the more fascinating it became.
It's a really interesting concept, right? It comes from astrophysics, and it
Yeah.
basically describes a civilization that's mastered the ability to use all the energy available on its planet.
Mm.
And the idea is that AI, with its ability to solve complex problems and, optimize how we use resources, could be the key to reaching that level of advancement.
So it's not just about AI making our lives easier, but about, I guess you could say, elevating humanity as a whole.
Exactly. And one of the most exciting areas where we're seeing this play out is in medicine. This source we have here talks about how AI is bringing superhuman precision to diagnostics, helping doctors diagnose conditions like cancer and heart disease way faster and more accurately than ever before.
So like, in practical terms, what would that look like for someone like me? If I went to the doctor today, how would AI actually impact my experience?
Well, imagine going in for a checkup, and instead of waiting weeks for results from scans and blood work, an AI system analyzes everything in real time, giving your doctor an accurate diagnosis almost instantly.
Wow, so that's like getting potentially life-saving treatment sooner. That's incredible.
It's a total game changer, and not just for diagnosis either. There's also this whole field of personalized medicine that AI is making a reality.
Oh yeah, I've heard that term thrown around. But is that actually happening now, or is it still kind of a futuristic idea?
It's happening right now. AI is being used to tailor treatments to individual patients based on their genetic profiles, analyzing their DNA to figure out which medications and therapies will be most effective for them.
So it's like having a treatment plan designed specifically for you.
Exactly, and it goes even deeper than that. AI can actually help develop new drugs by analyzing huge databases of molecular structures and identifying potential candidates for new medications.
So speeding up the whole process of drug discovery.
Exactly, potentially leading to breakthroughs for diseases that we currently have limited treatment options for.
That's amazing. It sounds like AI is really revolutionizing healthcare. But what about something like food security? How can AI help us feed a growing global population?
That's a great question, and this is where things get really interesting. We're seeing the rise of AI-powered robots working in fields, optimizing everything from planting and watering to harvesting.
So robot farmers, are they going to replace human farmers?
It's not about replacement, it's more about collaboration. These robots can handle the repetitive tasks and work tirelessly, which frees up human farmers to focus on the more strategic aspects of managing their farms.
It was about making farming smarter and more efficient.
Exactly. They can analyze data from sensors in the field to optimize things like irrigation and fertilization, which leads to increased crop yields and more sustainable practices.
That makes a lot of sense. But what about the environmental impact of all this technology?
That's a crucial consideration, and the surprising thing is that AI is actually proving to be a powerful tool for environmental protection. One example we came across is an AI platform that's being used to predict and manage forest fires.
Okay, hold on. How does AI predict forest fires? Does it have some kind of crystal ball or something?
Not quite a crystal ball, but it is pretty sophisticated tech. This platform integrates data from satellites, weather models, historical fire data, and it creates a really accurate picture of potential fire risks.
So firefighters can be proactive rather than reactive.
Exactly. They can take steps to prevent devastating wildfires before they even start.
That's amazing. So it's not just about putting out fires, it's about protecting entire ecosystems.
Right, and the communities that depend on them. And it's not just land-based problems AI is tackling. There's also a lot of buzz around these AI-equipped boats being used to clean up ocean plastic.
Wow, so AI is like a superhero for the planet.
Mhm.
How do these boats actually work? Do they have little robot arms picking up trash?
It's pretty clever. These boats use AI to identify and target patches of plastic pollution in the ocean. They collect and sort the plastic and potentially even recycle it right there on the boat.
That's incredible. It's like a self-driving garbage truck for the ocean. This makes me think about cities. We've all heard about self-driving cars, but are they actually making an impact on traffic?
They are. There have been pilot projects in major cities that have shown that self-driving cars can actually reduce traffic congestion. Imagine smoother commutes, less stress, maybe even shorter travel times.
I'm all for that. But what about the safety aspect? Are self-driving cars really safe enough to be sharing the road with human drivers?
Well, safety is the top priority, and these systems go through rigorous testing before they're allowed on public roads. The AI that powers these cars is constantly learning and adapting, drawing on data from sensors and cameras to make decisions that can prevent accidents.
So it's like having a super attentive driver who's always aware of their surroundings.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI in cities. Think about everything that makes a city run: traffic lights, waste management, energy grids. AI is being used to optimize all of that, making cities more efficient, more sustainable, and more responsive to the needs of their citizens.
So it's not just about making things high-tech, it's about making cities more livable.
Exactly, creating urban environments that are cleaner, safer, and more enjoyable for everyone. And that actually brings us to another fascinating area where AI is making a big impact: education.
I've heard about AI tutors. Are those actually a thing now?
They are, and they're getting more advanced all the time. Imagine a virtual tutor that can personalize your learning experience, adapting to your individual needs and giving you support in real time.
That's pretty far from the textbooks and standardized tests I grew up with. How do these AI tutors work? Do they, like, analyze how you're learning and adjust the lessons accordingly?
Exactly. They can track your progress, identify areas where you might be struggling, and provide explanations or exercises that are tailored to help you understand. They can even adjust the pace and complexity of the material to match your learning style.
So it's like having a personal teacher at your fingertips.
It's about making education accessible and ensuring that everyone has the resources they need to succeed. And it's not just about learning new things either. AI is also playing a role in helping people retrain for new careers.
Oh yeah, this source mentioned something about VR, combined with AI for hands-on training. What's that all about?
Imagine learning how to perform surgery or fly a plane through these immersive virtual reality simulations powered by AI.
Okay, that sounds incredible and maybe a little terrifying.
The AI allows the simulation to respond to your actions and give you feedback just like a human instructor would. So you can practice these complex skills in a safe environment before you ever do it for real.
That's a personalized training program tailored to your strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. And this kind of technology is already being used in healthcare, aviation, manufacturing, all sorts of fields.
It's like AI is not just automating tasks, but enhancing human capabilities, giving us superpowers.
I like that way of thinking about it. And it kind of brings us back to that idea of a type 1 civilization. We're not just using technology, but merging with it to achieve incredible things.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time. But overall, it seems like AI has the potential to create a much brighter future.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about all the positive ways AI is making a difference.
It is, but I have to admit it's also a little bit overwhelming. You know, things are changing so quickly, it's hard to even wrap your head around it all.
It's true. The pace of change can be a lot to take in. And AI is definitely one of those areas where things are moving especially fast.
So where do we even begin? How do we, as everyday people, living in this increasingly AI-powered world, make sense of it all?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think the first step is just acknowledging that AI is here to stay
Yeah.
and that it's going to continue to shape our world in ways we can't even fully imagine yet.
Right, we can't just ignore it or pretend it's not happening.
Exactly. And once we accept that, then we can start to engage with AI in a more informed and proactive way.
So education is key.
Absolutely. The more we understand how AI works, the less intimidating it becomes, and the better equipped we'll be to navigate its implications.
Okay, but where do we even start with that? Are we talking about going back to school, getting a computer science degree?
Not necessarily. There are so many resources available these days: articles, videos, even podcasts like this one that can give you a basic understanding of AI.
Right.
The key is just to approach it with curiosity and a willingness to learn.
I like that. So the more we learn, the less intimidating AI will become. But beyond just understanding it, how can we actually shape the future of AI? It feels like such a massive, complex force. How can we as individuals really make a difference?
That's a really important point, and it's easy to feel powerless in the face of such a transformative technology, but I truly believe that our individual voices do matter.
Okay, I'm listening.
One of the most important things we can do is to engage in open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI.
So, like, what do you mean by that? Give me an example.
Sure, things like how do we ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly? How do we prevent bias from creeping into algorithms? How do we make sure that the benefits of AI are shared equitably across society?
Those are big questions.
They are, but they're questions that we need to be asking ourselves as AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives.
It feels like a lot of responsibility.
It is, but it's also an incredible opportunity. We have the power to steer the development of AI in a direction that benefits all of humanity, and that starts with raising awareness and having those tough conversations.
So what can we do as individuals? Does our voice really matter in all of this?
Absolutely. Every voice counts. Supporting organizations that are promoting responsible AI development is a great place to start. You can also advocate for policies that ensure AI is used ethically and transparently.
Right.
And just staying informed and engaged with the topic is crucial.
It's empowering to know that we can actually make a difference. It's not just about passively accepting whatever technology comes our way. It's about actively shaping it for the better. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me. It's kind of shifted my perspective from, fear and uncertainty to a sense of possibility and hope.
That's exactly what we're hoping for. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and the anxieties surrounding AI, but at the end of the day, it's a technology with immense potential for good. We have the power to shape the future of AI, and it's a responsibility we shouldn't take lightly.
Well said, well said. I think you're right. It's easy to get caught up in all the what-ifs and the potential downsides. But when you really look at what AI is capable of, it's pretty incredible.
It really is, and I think that's something we really wanted to emphasize in this deep dive. Beyond all the headlines and the hype, there's a real story here about how AI is making a positive impact on the world.
And it's a story that's still being written. Right. I mean, we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution, and it's up to all of us to shape where it goes from here.
Exactly. That's why these conversations are so important. We need to be thinking critically about the ethical implications of AI and making sure that it's developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious, what excites you most about the potential of AI? What are you most hopeful for?
For me, it's the potential to solve some of the biggest challenges facing humanity. Things like climate change, poverty, disease. AI gives us this incredible set of tools to tackle these issues in ways we never could before.
That's a really inspiring thought, and I think it's a great note to end on. So for our listeners out there, what excites you most about the potential of AI? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so share them with us on social media.
And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. The more we learn about AI, the better equipped we'll be to shape its future and ensure that it's used for good.
Absolutely. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of human ingenuity. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.